Well, if we were to take a different look at this and hand these symptoms to a doctor in verses 3 to 11, we can see different things in there. Lethargy, pain or fever, anxiety, the loss of appetite and weight, insomnia, low mood or sorrow. So this could cover a range of illnesses actually. It could be depression, it could be an infectious disease, it could be a chronic illness, or it could even be someone who is suffering terminally. They haven't got long to live. It could also describe someone in the throes of grief, or someone spiritually grieving over their sin, and it leaves a mark in their health. So then, when would be a good time to pray this prayer? Well, let me tell you this, you do not need to tick every single one of these boxes before you pray it. If you feel anything like this at any time, here's the invitation to come and to allow these words form our prayer when we are broken and weak. I used to work in a pharmacy, some of you know, and if someone came with these symptoms, honestly, I would be encouraging them and talking to them, but I would be encouraging them actually to talk to their doctor as well. As it could be there's some form of depression going on. It used to be that having a mental illness carried a certain stigma or shame. That's shifting, it's changing. The message is getting out there loud and clear. It's okay not to feel okay, and it's okay to ask for help. And we're encouraged to talk to other people about what's going on inside, even though it's so hard to put into words. And as humans who live in a broken world, we need to hear this. Because any one of us can suffer from depression. As Christians, we need to remember this too. We need to challenge the simplistic and wrong thinking that as Christians, our lives are meant to be all together all the time. Aren't Christians meant to be joyful? The psalmist, the worship leader of God's people, the songbook in God's book, the Bible, is full of laments. He finds himself depressed. It's the experience that he had. It's the experience of many Christians across history, and many Christians still. And I have no doubt, actually, that some of us in this room are experiencing or have experienced struggles with our mental health. And when we find ourselves struggling, it's good to take a holistic approach, to talk to our doctor and to receive medication. Sometimes we might need that, or to receive some counselling and help, to have the support of loved ones around us who are helping, and our church, family and friends. But this one might sound so obvious. But it's essential as Christians that we pray about it too, isn't it? That we involve God, that we talk it out with Him, but more than that, that we allow Him to bring change. Here is someone who is empty, yet they're pouring themselves out. That sounds strange, doesn't it? Well, they're empty in some ways. They're low on energy, but they're full of pain, of frustration, and of loneliness. And so these are the things that they are pouring out. More than I can handle, God. I've got too much. I'm giving it to you. When we feel ourselves filling up, it's time to pour ourselves out before Him. This broken believer is bringing themselves to their God. And as the psalm moves on, we read how they shift from how they are feeling to seeing who God is, and how that brings change. Jesus is the broken one. He shares in verses 1 to 11. Isaiah described him as a man of suffering, familiar with pain. He took up our pain. He bore our suffering. Jesus knows what it is to be broken, to be weak, to be human, to be flesh and blood like us. And no wonder He was the one who had time for those who were despised and destitute. Matthew, in chapter 12 of his Gospel, says that He fulfilled Isaiah's words. A bruised reed He will not break, a smouldering wick He will not snuff out. He has time for those who are tender and broken. He hears the prayer of the broken. He sits with us in the dust, we might say.